Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Cagesiders. Jeremy along with the coach, Angelo Reyes. There we go.
Thank you
Angelo
for remembering
Reyes.
my name,
I'm
Jeremy.
sorry. I forgot. I was thinking about the Raiders, and I instantly got choked up.
Okay, I can go with the coach
vomit.
Angelo Raiders. Okay.
Going to vomit
all right.
because you will be without a championship for many years.
Well,
So,
where did that shirt?
what?
But speaking of championships,
Speaking of championships, we're here with Rona Hightower from Tuff N Uff, right?
Yep.
Absolutely right. So,
that champion organization
I
mean, they've been around for 24 years.
you could almost call it the UFC of amateur fighting.
It's true. It's been around the longest.
I would definitely say that because so many fighters have come up through this organization.
I mean, when you think
We're
about
so
it,
lucky to have it here in Las Vegas.
What did we talk about in the first segment? Tanya Evinger came out of Tuff N Uff, right? And then there's Ashley Evans Smith, John Fitch, Jesse Forbes.
Do I really need to pull the Ronda Rousey
Chris
card?
Holdsworth. I know you're going to say Ronda. Everybody knows Ronda Rousey.
came through this,
Of
man.
course.
Come on.
Of course.
So if you're lucky enough to be a part of one of their shows, watch one of their shows, you're in for a treat. And they have a show coming up April 7th. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So we were going to actually ask you that about the history of Tuff N Uff, and we know you've been in the company for a few years now. What about the history? I mean, when you tell our fans, why should they come and watch a Tuff N Uff? Why should they do it?
Oh, well, it's kind of like you mentioned, we're the future stars of MMA, so we're basically, we are kind of like the UFC, but the rounds are shorter, which kind of means for more knockouts, more exciting, fast-paced action. They have less time to actually make something happen. So we kind of tout that as like one of our, feather in our caps because, we kind of have the same thing that they do, but also our prices are way cheaper. And you can be right by the cage. You can get blood on you for a lot less than what they're charging.
All right. Now, of the names that I mentioned when I was naming all these people, and Ronda Rousey, of course, right? Who's your, Rona? Who would be like your personal favorites of alumni that came out of Tuff N Uff?
Well, since I've only been with the company for a short while, I'm not really, I never met Ronda. I wasn't around when she was fighting, so I'm more of like Jamie Moyle. She's one of my favorites.
She's awesome.
Yeah, so I love her. She's a local girl, so I've always liked working with Jamie.
All right, that's cool. That April 7th show, it's the downtown Las Vegas Event Center, right?
So.
But I know you guys have done stuff like Pack the Mack, right? Is that happening again this year?
We are. We're doing Pack the Mack again, June 17th. I know it's EDC weekend, so for everyone not going to EDC,
That'd be me and you. Me and you. We're not going to EDC weekend.
Thomas and Mack Center, it's entirely free show again. This is our 4th year doing it. We did break the attendance record the first year, so we're still trying to break our own record again this year.
How many people showed up on that first year?
It was over 15,000 people. Wow. Yeah, which is more than some UFC shows have even had. So we're kind of like, oh, we have more people than you.
In fact, when I moved here a couple years ago, that was my very first MMA show here in Vegas was Tuff N Uff at the Thomas and Mack. And I tell you this much, it was an incredible, incredible show. That was the show that made me go, I want to do MMA here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's incredible show.
We have tons of shows throughout the year, but fighters and coaches are like, no, we want to be on June 7th. We want to be on Thomas and Mack because they know it's huge exposure for them and for their fighters and for their careers. So that one is always a really popular one. And we're super fortunate to work with the Thomas and Mack Center. They partner with us. So, I mean, I don't know where else you'd be able to do that in the world where something like the Thomas Mack Center, it fits 18,000 people will work with an amateur
open
MMA
to amateur fighters.
They're like,
and things like that.
come on,
absolutely.
let's put on a show. So yeah, we're really fortunate to get to work with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So like you said, like a Pack the Mack, those type of ideas. Is there anything new that you guys are coming up with for 2017? Any new wrinkles, changing the rules, or anything fun for the fans or for the fighters? Anything that you can divulge?
We've kind of always thought about changing the length of the rounds, but then we're like, they're amateurs. They're gonna gas. Like, I don't know if they can make
They're
it.
gonna gas,
so
man.
We're like, maybe we should keep it at the 2 minutes. But we are working with the Downtown Las Vegas Event Center for the first time this year with our own shows. We did work with them last year for a charity show. So we're really excited about that. The April 7th one is outside, so that'll be really cool. The weather will be nice and enjoy some beers and fights and Fremont Street, and yeah, it's like a really exciting venue for us to work with.
Now let me ask you that, because I know in the downtown area they do like Life is Beautiful, and I know a company like yours is always looking for great sponsors.
Yeah.
Is there like a fun component like that where you get beer companies and all these different companies kind of doing like a parade or like something where this sponsor and that sponsor, there's giveaways or anything?
Yeah, every show we have, the sponsors can get a booth, they can throw out swag, from the cage, things like that. So yeah, every event we try to incorporate the sponsors as much as possible, and all the advertising, we play their commercial in the venue, we're willing to work with anyone, and we'll come up with all kinds of creative ideas to promote sponsors and their product and their company.
Well, it's definitely a great. I mean, Dana
Yeah.
White was on their last show. Now,
Yeah,
when you have Dana
absolutely.
White coming to an amateur show,
Right.
that's the show to go to.
Especially when he said so many years ago, I don't like I don't like girls fighting.
Told you, we talked about that
all
not too
that
long
stuff.
ago.
So
Yeah.
for him to come really kind of put a check mark and kind of really validated us as a company. That was amazing.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. That is awesome. Now, look at this rundown for this April 7th show. Your main event is, I think it's Billy Brand versus Ian
It
King.
is. It's a title fight. Yep.
Title fight. All right,
yeah.
all right. And Danny Gonzalez versus Extreme Couture's Corey
Corey Conway, yeah.
Yep. That'll be going. Yeah, Corey's fought for us quite a few times. So yeah, he's always a fun one to watch.
Yeah, and there's a whole list here. So I was going to ask you, out of the fighters that we're looking at, or the ones that you have in your roster right now, which are the ones that we should be paying attention to that might be making that transition to the pros? Anybody you can think of?
The two main events for sure. They both got really great records, and they come from really great camps. So that one's always, those are two to watch. Calvin Parrington, he's on the card. He's fought for us quite a few times. He's definitely one to watch too. There's a lot of people that we've got. We've got really great gyms that we work with in town and out of town. So you just got to come to the show.
Come to the show.
See the
Come to the
future
show.
stars for yourself.
There you go, April 7th, downtown, Las Vegas Event Center. You're not going to want to miss this, because if you like big production as far as MMA is concerned, this is the organization locally to get involved with. A lot of the, like they say, future stars of MMA are going to be right here. We mentioned all the names earlier. So the folks you see on these cards are the ones you're probably going to see in pro fights. You're going to see them knock heads in Bellator, in UFC, all these places. So, Rona, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for coming down,
Absolutely. For coming down and everything. When we come back, we're going to have more, right, Angelo?
Yes, sir.
Right. This Raiders cap is gone. Right, we're going to have more from the Cagesiders. Stay tuned.